What's up guys, Will here from W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum.
Alright guys, before we start, I want to give a huge thank you to Jenkins Nissan here in Lakeland, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have a really kind staff and their inventory is really impressive. They have a ton of cars, so if you're in the Florida area looking for a new car, I would definitely suggest checking these guys out.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, we already reviewed the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder SL on this channel, and it was basically fully loaded, so it is going to be a little bit similar to what we're going to have here. But this is the Platinum trim, so we are going to have a few additional standard features compared to the SL trim, and we're also going to have this really beautiful metallic green color that I'm sure a lot of you guys would like to check out. But as far as the Pathfinder itself, it's been sold in the US since 1985. That's when the first generation was released. Fast forward to about 2013, that's when this vehicle had the biggest redesign to date. That's when it kind of changed its platform from the boxy SUV to this more sleek crossover design. Like we mentioned in the SL review, Ford had a similar transition with the Explorer back in 2011. But for 2022, here's the 5th generation Nissan Pathfinders on an all-new platform. We're going to have a 3.5-liter V6 engine, which makes about 284 horsepower, mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Enough to get this 4,100-pound SUV to 60 in around 6.5 to 7 seconds, which is a very respectable time. But as far as the styling, let's jump right in. So up front, we're going to have fully LED headlights. You're going to have LED daytime running stripes up here too. We get a pretty reflective chrome strip over here. I'm usually not the biggest fan of reflective chrome, but they make it work pretty well because they do have dark headlight housing over here, matched with a black grille, and it is a pretty decent color differentiation. But as far as the Nissan badge, it's a new style badge. It's going to be gunmetal gray on the outside with white lettering. I do like the design overall. As far as airflow, you guys can tell it's going to be blocked off up here, but you're going to have your airflow down here with your front-facing camera. This vehicle is going to have full 360 sensing with a 360 overhead camera, and it works really, really well. You do get a little bit of additional airflow down here as well as your parking sensors. You do get an LED fog light over here as well. Pretty clean overall front end styling. I'm definitely a fan. I do like the look, and once we start this SUV up, you'll see how it transforms with the daytime running lights. But we'll take a step back. You guys can grab one last look, and let's take a step over here and check out our wheel and tire setup. So since this is the Platinum trim, we're going to have standard 20-inch rims, and they're going to look really nice with this silver and gunmetal gray contrast. And as far as the tire setup, we are going to get Bridgestone Alenza tires. They're going to be wrapped in two 55/50 R20s. These are going to be sport all-season tires, so they're going to be a very nice quiet compound with very good grip for the street, because this is a two-wheel drive model. We're going to check out the window sticker in 1 second, but since it's a two-wheel drive model, it's nice to have these stickier 255 all seasons up front. But other than that, definitely like the rim design. It's definitely a good tire setup, so nothing to complain about all around. If you do take this vehicle off-road, it's nice they gave you this little plastic protection over here and a little bit of a mud flap over here too. That's going to be an option on this vehicle, but it's definitely going to do the job, especially for the front-wheel drive version, which is going to be kicking up quite a bit of stuff. But continuing over here, let's check out these mirrors. So the glass itself, we got a spider web over here, but the glass itself, it's going to fill up the frame pretty well. You do get blind spot monitoring over here, and you do get smart access for the driver, front passenger, and the rear passenger. So everyone's going to get the smart access for this SUV. Very nice touch. But let's go ahead over here and check out this window sticker. Like we mentioned, we got the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum two-wheel drive. So mechanically, we're going to have the 3.5-liter dual overhead cam 24-valve V6. It's going to make 284 horsepower, 259 pound-feet of torque, made it to this 9-speed auto transmission with manual mode and paddle shifters. That's nice because the Frontier that we just reviewed, the 2022 Frontier Pro 4X, didn't have paddle shifters. It still had that little slapstick for the gear selector, but still not the same. You do get an electronic parking brake, front disc brakes, 20-inch rims, temporary spare, all that stuff. You do get a 6,000-pound towing capacity too. That's a nice towing capacity for this mid-size SUV. But as far as safety and security, you guys can take a pause, check out all the features. I do like how you get lane departure warning, rear clause, traffic alert, blind spot warning, all these advanced safety features as a standard feature. That's nice too. As far as comfort and convenience, you guys can check it out. You got your 10-way driver's seat with 2-way lumbar, 4-way passenger seat, you got memory seats too. Nissan door-to-door navigation, standard feature, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all standard features. You're also going to get your 12-inch digital dash standard, heads-up display, this Bose premium sound system. It's going to be a 13-speaker sound system. That's not the crazy part, guys. You're going to have two subwoofers. This thing will blow your ears off in terms of bass. Absolutely fantastic sound system, guys. Definitely a thumbs up for Nissan for putting this in the Platinum trim on the Pathfinder. great sound system. You're gonna have tri-zone automatic climate control, intelligent key for 4 doors, that's their smart access system, wireless charging pad, that's standard on the Platinum trim as well. But other than that, you guys can pause. You got so many features on this vehicle. Second row sunshades, that'll help you if you have kids that are trying to sleep in the second row. But all in all, guys, this is a great family SUV, under 50,000 bucks, but we'll get into all that. As far as the exterior, you're gonna have full LED lighting all around for the front and back. You're gonna have LED turn signal indicators, LED fog lights. You're gonna have rear privacy glass, panoramic moonroof, and roof rails. But this vehicle also has a couple options, not that many. You're gonna get the cargo area protector, carpeted floor mats with captain's chairs, splash guards, crossbars. But that's it for all the options. After an $1150 destination charge, you're gonna be sitting at a price around $48,500. That's an absolutely fantastic bargain considering what this vehicle comes with. But we're gonna continue. You, of course, like we mentioned, you do get smart access for the front and back. I like this Pathfinder nameplate. It is gonna be a shiny chrome. I do wish it was more of a smoked chrome, but it still looks good. It definitely separates this vehicle from the other trims. You get your roof racks right here with the crossbars, very supportive. You can move this SUV pretty well with these crossbars, definitely very stiff to the frame. Like we mentioned, we are gonna have privacy glass for the rear and the rear hatch. As far as the rear styling, I always find the sketchiest places to record, guys. I feel like I'm just definitely standing here as someone's food. But anyway, you guys can check it out. You got your Pathfinder rear end. It's gonna have very large lettering back here. So these are really nice. They don't go in like they do on the new Armadas. They still look really good with the smoked chrome design. That's what I was saying. This is the material I wish that they put over here for the bottom of the door sill, because I feel like chrome is too shiny. It's kind of tacky at this point, but this little smoked silver looks really good. I like the Nissan badge. You guys know I'm a big fan. You got your Platinum distinguishing badge right here. But other than that, you got your rear parking sensors right here, your tow hitch right here. Of course, this vehicle can tow up to 6,000 pounds, and you got your electronics right here. But other than that, we'll take a step back. You guys can check out the rear styling all in one shot. But let's start this 2022 Pathfinder Platinum up and hear how she sounds. All right, guys, so that was, of course, the sound of the 3.5-liter V6 sold by Nissan for this 2022 Pathfinder. So let's pop this hood and check it out. A little bit tricky to open it up, but we got it. Unfortunately, we do not get struts. The Frontier that we just reviewed did have struts, and I was definitely impressed with that. But for this SUV that's approaching $50,000, it would be nice if it did come equipped with struts, because everything gets extremely hot down there. But here you have it. This engine, of course, is going to make 284 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this SUV to 60 between 6.5 and 7 seconds. It is pushed to the left a little bit, which will offset the fact that the battery is right here on the driver's side. And like I mentioned on the SL trim, not quite sure why the intake's at the back of the engine. Not the best spot to absorb cold air. It's going to be basically only taking hot air. But they did think it through. They gave you a little bit of a tube. So over here for the intake, you are going to be sucking in a little bit of cold air as well. But anyway, that's about it with this engine bay. They do have a little bit of a cross support right here between the two strut towers, which will aid in the overall handling stiffness of this SUV. But that's about it. We'll shut this hood. I'll try not to burn myself too badly and show you guys the process. Ooh, it's unbelievably hot. Wow. But we'll take a step back. You guys can check out those daytime running strips. They look really good and matches this green metallic color really well. I hope it picks up on camera. But that's about it for the exterior, guys. Let's walk up over here and check out the interior on this 2022 Pathfinder Platinum. And this is where it's really gonna pop. So up top, you're gonna have some extremely soft stitched leather. This is like a seat. It is so nice to rest your elbow on this material. They really thought it through. I really like this color too. This brownish beige color definitely stands out. This door handle too, very good resistance, very nice weight to it. As far as the seats, they are gonna be memory seats. You can set them up right there. Right here for this armrest, very nice leather, very soft, and this whole material is consistent. So it feels like it really belongs and your arm fits in there just really well. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but they really thought it through. It's very ergonomic. Up here, you are gonna have a little bit of piano black, but that's about it. You're not gonna have a lot more piano black for the rest of this interior, so you're not gonna have to keep your cleaning supplies at hand at all times. Over here, you get a little bit more storage. It's not gonna be rubberized, but not a big deal. You're gonna have Power One Touch for all 4 windows, and as you can see up front, you are gonna have dual pane windows, which is gonna keep your interior much quieter. But we'll shut that up. You guys can see you have power folding mirrors right here too, and you got your adjustments for your mirrors right here. But that's about it for the door panel, guys. You see you got a little bit of a brushed aluminum trim right here, huge cup holder. You could probably fit a big gulp in there with a little bit of storage right here. The speakers right down here. Yes, this is a Bose. You guys can see the label right here. But as far as the seats, this is also one of the more impressive parts about this car. You're gonna have this really nice tan brown beige leather material, super soft leather, but it feels like it's thick too. So it's gonna be pretty durable. This material right here doesn't feel too thick, so if anything's gonna start to have problems, it'll probably be this. But the seat itself feels really good, very soft, well padded, well supportive too. These bolsters are definitely going to hug you in place very nicely, but they're not stiff, so you don't expect them to jab into your ribs. Over here in the middle, they are going to be perforated. You're going to be a little bit quilted too. Very nice seats. They're going to be cooled too, and the cooled function works extremely well. I'm not sure how many of you guys have been in a lot of vehicles that have cooled seats, but these work extremely well, better than most manufacturers have made cooled seats in the past. I can feel it through my hand right now that the cold air is being blown onto my hand. These are really functional cooled seats. Definitely a huge thumbs up. Coming down here, you got your 10-way adjustments with lumbar control right here. But let's step inside and see what we really got. So boom. So first thing you notice is going to be this flat bottom steering wheel. It's going to be really thick, surprisingly thick. It fits your hands, fits my hands really well. The 9 3 is pretty good. It doesn't cave in for your fingers very well, but this isn't a sports car. You shouldn't expect the steering wheel to fit your hands like you would for the Nissan Z cars. But for this car, it's still super impressive. The 10 2 each, not the biggest, but it's still there nevertheless. It does aid with the overall thumb slot for the 9 3. But coming down here, you can check out the flat bottom. It is nice that they gave you that. I love the stitch work overall. Very nice feeling steering wheel. As far as the horn, you can see your new Nissan badge right here, but pretty aggressive horn. Sounds pretty decent. Not quite as aggressive as it sounded on the Frontier, but I guess this is a little bit less of an aggressive vehicle. Let's turn this air down by one more in case it's affecting your guys' sound quality. But as far as the steering wheel controls, you got your volume controls right here. You can skip right here, and you can change your infotainment display right here. Right next to this is going to be your cruise control settings, voice commands, and your radar cruise right here, and your 360 sensing. But let's check out and see what this infotainment screen offers. The gauges don't really adjust, which is unfortunate. Even when you alternate the drive modes, as you can see right here, you're still going to have essentially the exact same gauges. We're in snow right now. Standard still the same, sport still the same, tow still the same. But we're going to start the review in standard and then transition into sport and see what the differences are. But anyway, so as far as the infotainment screen up front, we can change between traffic sign recognition right here. We're in the middle of a parking lot right now. We're not going to have any traffic signs. You can also see your 360 sensing at all times, and go up one more time. You got your blind spot and forward collision alert that you can see in front of you on your heads-up display. But let's see what else you get. So over here, you get your overall settings. Here you can adjust between VDC, personal assistance, personal display, heads-up display. So you can see, let's see how you can adjust the heads-up display. Also, you can change between brightness, height, rotation, and the selection of the content. So let's see what we can select. So you can have navigation, driving assist, speed limit sign, audio, and the telephone settings all on your heads-up display. That's really cool. But I'm not going to adjust any of the settings too much. Let's see what the personal display you can adjust. So you can choose between gear position, trip, fuel economy, blank, navigation. Pretty interesting. So all this information gets adjusted right here. So as you can see, as we move around, all this stuff changes up. So that's pretty cool. Right now we have it set to gear position, but you could also set it to average speed. I'll leave it at gear position. We're not going to adjust any of these settings right now. We'll let the owner of this vehicle set it up to their liking. But other than that, those are all your settings. As far as vehicle settings, you can turn on or off your power back door, lighting, locking, wipers, driving position, rear door, alert. So that's pretty cool for the vehicle settings. It tells you when you need maintenance. You can customize the units, and you can reset back to the factory settings. But outside of settings, this vehicle also has a compass right here. You can see your driving information. You can see your average miles per gallon and your gas information overall. You can also see your fuel economy settings right here in this display. Also right here, you can see your tire pressure while you're driving. You can see your compass again over here. Music settings, you got your blind spot information and your forward collision alert right here. So right back to where we started. But we'll leave it in speed limit sign. That's probably gonna be the best display overall. It'll be pretty cool to see what the speed limit signs are. We don't need to have a digital speedometer up here because, as we said, we get a heads-up display. And the heads-up display, you can see it pretty easily. On the camera, it doesn't really come up as big as I can see it through my eyes right now. But compared to most vehicles that I've driven with heads-up displays, this is a very largely illuminated, very nice to look at heads-up display. But anyway, let's continue around the interior. As far as the materials, you can notice you got some really soft leather stitch material right here with some brushed aluminum on the outsides. The air vents right here, old school style air vents. I do like the way that these are vertically placed, though. They do feel really high quality. But anyway, the materials all around are going to be soft leather trim, really high quality. Love the tan leather too. Where your knee will often hit, also stitched leather. All in all, guys, super high quality interior here. The dashboard itself, it's going to be soft touch plastic. You're going to get an auto dimming rear mirror. It's going to be a little bit old school. It's not going to be like as modern. It's not going to be a frameless rear view mirror. but still an auto dimming rear view mirror. You got your 3 garage settings right here, and you can turn on and off your auto dimming. You got your sunglass holders right here. Pretty nice that Nissan still offers that for you. You got your light controls right here, and you also have your panoramic moonroof, which opens up right here. And it does slide down since you have those cross supports for the roof racks, and it opens up pretty decently. Obviously it doesn't open up all the way. No panoramic moonroof opens up all the way, but it's a really nice day right now, as you guys can check out. And since we're inside, I'm no longer afraid of whatever's going on in those woods over there. But we'll shut this thing up right here. Over here you can check out your gear selector. You press this button, pull it back, you're in drive. You pull it back, it's also, pull it back one more time, you're in manual shift mode. And this vehicle also has paddle shifters. That's also cool. The Frontier we reviewed did not have paddle shifters. But anyway, you press the button, push it up, you're in reverse. Press the button, you're back in park. So pretty easy to use overall. Your wireless charger is going to be right over here. You do get a USB-C. I don't know if you guys can pick it up. Yeah, you got a USB-C, USB, and you got your 12 volt right here for your radar detector. But anyway, this is going to be your wireless charger right over here. You got a little bit of additional storage over here, and you can check out your cup holders. I've never seen cups that are shaped like this. I'm not sure why manufacturers got to go away from the whole circular cups, but I'm sure it's still going to be functional for a 12-ounce bottle and anything like that. But over here, you can turn off your auto start stop. For the purpose of this review, we'll actually enable that. You got your electronic parking brake right here with your auto hold. That's also nice. Nice little cubby. You can put your key. That's where I'm currently keeping the key for this vehicle right here. You got your drive mode right here. You can switch between standard, you got sport, tow, and eco mode. We're going to switch between standard and sport. Those are going to be the 2 settings that we use. But anyway, continuing back, you got a nice Pathfinder illuminated nameplate on your center console, which is also super soft leather, really nicely padded. I like the stitching, I really like the color. You open it up, ton of space. You could probably fit at least a 6-pack, maybe even fit like maybe 8 to 10 cans in here. You could probably fit bottles too, because the depth is really impressive. As you see, it goes half the way up my forearm. But other than that, we'll shut this thing up. Really impressive center console. We'll check out the glove box right here. It's a pretty wide glove box, but it's not going to be as deep. You're probably going to fit between 8 to 10 license plates in this glove box. But anyway, over here, you got a really nice storage compartment over here. You could probably fit like maybe 2 or 3 iPhone 11 Pro Maxes in there. Very deep space. You can fit probably half my hand in there too. Really impressive, very nice to have. I'm not quite sure what it's exactly for, but it is rubberized. You can kind of use it as an crap handle if someone's driving like a complete maniac. But as far as the infotainment screen, you guys can check it out. For the navigation, you can just press the go home if you save your location. You got your search settings right here. You can see the songs. Pretty nice screen. I like how you can see the temperature too. Very good setup overall. So if you guys don't like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, this system works really, really well. So Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, although it is wireless, isn't quite necessary, because this infotainment system is really, really impressive. You got your stocks, fuel prices, sports scores, got just about anything you could possibly want or need. As far as the map, you guys can check it out. Really good resolution, not the best, but it does respond very nicely to the touch. Definitely no complaints overall. Very functional, very intuitive touchscreen. But we'll leave it off right here in this menu. Right here, you got your air vents beneath your engine start stops. Right over here, automatic climate, of course. You got your heated and cooled seats, and these cooled seats, like I mentioned, they work really, really well. We do get a heated steering wheel. It'll be nice if we start seeing some manufacturers incorporate cooled steering wheels, because especially with black leather like this, when you get into the car, it gets really, really hot, especially during the summertime. You can adjust your rear climate right here. So if your kids are messing around back there and they're just turning up the vents all the way up all the time, making it basically impossible to hear anything, you can just press this button right here and turn off their vents. But that's about it for over here. You can check out these buttons. You can adjust the brightness of the display on the interior. You have active steering. You can turn it on and off right here. You can release the tailgate over here, and you have a button right here. There's an eye and a little bit of a display up. So, oh, that turns on and off your heads up display. That's pretty cool. But down here, you got your hood release down there. But again, that's about it for the front seat. Let's check out the back seat on this 2022 Pathfinder Platinum and see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. All right, guys, stepping in the back seat of the 2022 Pathfinder Platinum. So back here, of course, it's gonna be some super, super soft leather for the upper part of the door panel. However, up here for the frame, it's not gonna be soft, because we are gonna get a sunshade right here, which is gonna make it nice and dark on the inside. Although these windows are tinted, so the sunshade's not gonna be as necessary, but it's still nice to have nevertheless. Down here, we are going to have that really nicely weighted aluminum door handle. Definitely a thumbs up for Nissan. The leather armrest here, this is absurdly soft. This is one of the most comfortable armrests I've personally ever felt, especially for a back seat. Very large storage over here, also impressive. And you got a power one touch window, but they are locked up front. You got to unlock it to do it, but we're not going to do that nevertheless. You guys can trust me, these are going to be power one touch. As far as the cup holders, again, they're not going to be round, but they're still going to fit at probably any size cups that you would need. Continuing below, you're going to start having some hard plastic right here, and it's going to continue all the way down. But you got some very impressive storage over here. You could probably fit at least a 12 ounce right here. You could probably fit another 12 ounce over here if you wanted to, but the angle would probably make it fall out. But other than that, really impressive. You guys can check out these seats too. Really solid bolstering for a back seat. It's not going to be as bolstered as the front, of course, but for the back seat, these should be really supportive, because remember, these are going to be captain's chairs. You're going to get the buckets for the back too, not just the front. But you got your button right here. This is going to make them fold up. We'll check that out once we enter the third row. You can recline the seat right here, and you can slide it back and forth as well. So you have basically infinite range, very great adjustability in this 2022 Pathfinder. But let's step inside and see what we got. So I'm 6 feet sitting behind my seat settings, and I have a ton of space. Like we said, this seat can slide, and we are in the all the way farthest back setting, but still super impressive. I have at least like 6-7 inches of remaining knee room, so definitely a thumbs up for Nissan. You can check out the map pockets, really nicely felted on the inside. I feel really cool. But over here, you also get a map pocket behind the passenger. Like we said, also, you do get third zone climate control. You can turn it on right here. Fan settings over here as well. Heated rear seats. That's also nice. It would be really cool if we had cooled seats for an SUV under 50,000 bucks, but no, we do not get those. Down here, you get your USB-C, you got your USB, and you can check out your AC adapter right here. So you really got just about anything you could possibly want. These seats are absurdly comfortable, especially considering we're sitting in the back seat right now. I haven't been in many front seats that feel this comfortable. This is truly a great luxury SUV for people of all sizes, because remember, I'm 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings. I would say that if you're 6'6" or below, you will be comfortable back here behind your seat settings. Maybe even taller, I'm not sure. This is a super impressive SUV so far. We haven't checked out the third row yet. We'll check out and see how much space is back there. But considering we already did the SL review, I think I'll be pretty impressed. But back here, you do have additional cup holders in case the 4 that you get on the doors aren't enough. More storage right here. I'm not quite sure what you would put in here, but you do get some storage nevertheless. No center console, no true console. You're just gonna have these nice little armrests. I do wish to kind of give you a console to rest your arm, but these still do the job nevertheless. But that's about it for the back seat, guys. Pretty impressive. You guys can see the view that we get with this panoramic moonroof. It's absolutely beautiful. Really impressive SUV. But let's check out the third row, see how much space we got back there, and then take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, so to get into the third row, you simply press this button right here. The seat literally comes up right for you. You can push it up a little bit more if you want to too. And let's take a step inside and see what we got. Not the easiest entrance, but not a big deal. Pretty doable nevertheless. So putting it back into its original seat setting all the way back, it's basically impossible. I got like zero space back here. I kind of don't remember it being this cramped, but remember, these seats are in the farthest back setting. I'll catch back with you guys. I'll readjust the seat to make it a little bit more comfortable, but you can see why you would need to readjust it. There's really not that much space for somebody that's 6 feet tall. All right, guys, I readjusted the second row seat because if there's gonna be somebody that's 6 feet tall sitting in the third row, I'm sure the second row passengers are gonna sacrifice a little bit of their legroom, especially when we still got at least 3 or 4 inches of space. So as you see, still plenty of space in the second row. We'll check out and see if we can now use the third row. But all right, let's take a step in here and see what we got. All right, so not a whole lot of extra room. I do have a bunch more room for my feet, but as we saw, this seat is really reclined. So there are gonna have to be plenty of compromises made with the second row passengers in order to make it a comfortable process for the passengers in the third row. But still usable third row, pretty impressive overall. We'll hop out of here because it is getting a little bit hot, but let's take a quick look at the trunk in this 2022 Pathfinder Platinum and see how much space is offered back here. So to open up the trunk, you simply press the button right there and it opens up for you. This vehicle also has the kick function. I'll demonstrate it in 1 second. But when the third row is up, you guys can see there's plenty of space back here. We got a bunch of floor mats and all that right over here. As we mentioned in the SL video, this little storage compartment does come up and you do get a decent amount of space back here as well. I would almost recommend people taking that compartment off and just keeping a nice cubby if you plan on keeping the third rows up permanently. But let's drop this third row. You simply push this thing forward and the third row just comes right down. Same thing on this side. Slightly different process. You also got to pull these little things out, but there you have it. So with the third row down, you can see pretty decent space, really impressive space. They really took advantage of the entire opening that they could have used. You drop those back seats down, you could probably fit an 80-inch TV back here with basically no issues. So this trunk area is extremely spacious. But anyway, we'll shut this trunk up. All you gotta do is simply press this button right here, and you can take a step back and watch it close. And like I said, this vehicle does have the kick function. All you gotta do is stand behind it with the key in your pocket, kick it forward a little bit, and as you can see, the trunk comes right up. So pretty cool overall. We'll press the button one more time, watch it close. Didn't close, press it one more time, watch it close. But let's take this 2022 Pathfinder Platinum out for a drive. All right guys, now that we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum, let's take it out for a drive. And first thing I notice is the steering. Unlike the Frontier that we just reviewed, this steering is absolutely effortless, at least in standard mode. Once you throw it into sport, it is going to tighten up a little bit, but in standard mode, you got absolutely effortless steering. And although it's effortless, it's still super direct. It's one of the more direct systems that I've also ever used. It's a little bit long. It does kind of take a little bit more turn to get to where you want to be, but that's not really a big deal. As far as the system itself, really impressive. But stepping out onto this road, we'll lean into it about half throttle in second gear right here. Pretty good torque, not the most torque, but once you get past like 3,500 RPM, you get a serious surge of power. But nevertheless, still pretty good accelerating SUV to get to 16 around 6.5 to 7 seconds. That's definitely doable. That's more than what most people would need. When you're just lightly on the gas, it does take a little bit to get the torque, but the initial response is pretty good. But all right, stepping out onto this little back road over here, you can feel that the steering is just immediately like responding, and it feels really good in your hands, even in standard mode. We haven't even put it into sport yet. But all right, let's check out this vehicle's turning radius real quick, and pretty impressive overall. Stepping back out into this road about half throttle, really strong, guys. We don't have to push it too far. We have a little bit of a tight back road coming up. It'll give us a good sense on how this vehicle can really turn. And speaking of that, it'll be a good time to put this car into sport. So immediately once you put the car into sport, the revs stay in the overdrive. That's good. I like when they do that, but the steering definitely gets a little tighter. We'll step on the brakes a little bit, throwing it in, guys. It is nice. This thing stays very flat, and the steering is very direct and really sharp. Really impressive overall. We got a little bit more of a curvy road over here. We'll step right here and see what else we got. And once you put it into sport, the throttle becomes a lot more sensitive too. And even coming uphill, you got great response and power. And wow, the steering is my favorite part about this car. It's such a good steering SUV. It's one of the best steering SUVs. On the brakes, we're going downhill now, but the turning is still perfect. And we're on pretty thick tires right now. Yeah, they're sporty all seasons, but this thing handles like an absolute dream. It's fantastic. But yeah, this thing handles absolutely great. You can throw it through these turns right here. Great feel through the hands. You can feel exactly what those wheels are doing, and as soon as you even sniff the steering wheel, the vehicle's changing directions. Absolutely great job. Yeah, there's definitely more sensitivity in the throttle in sport mode, but oh my gosh, going through these turns, this is almost like a sports car. Wow. Yeah, maybe this isn't like a little bit too big of an SUV for a back road like this, but it still does the job really well. I hope you guys got the sense. I'm gonna throw on the POV hat so you guys can get a nice first-hand experience behind the wheel of this 2022 Pathfinder Platinum. But it's really impressive, guys. I want you guys to really see the corners that this thing can take and how responsive the steering really is. I hope it can give you a good sense with the POV hat, but I'll catch back with you guys in 1 second. But all right, guys, setting off in the 2022 Pathfinder. You can see these turns. This thing is absolutely immediate. This is a nice SUV. I would absolutely recommend it. Look at this. Like, who's doing this in a mid-size SUV with 8 seats? Well, 7 seats because of the captain's chairs, but wow. We were doing that at a pretty decent speed too. Really impressive. But all right, stepping onto this road, pretty sensitive throttle in sport, but I do like that we still get the overdrive gears in sport mode. So you can drive in sport on a daily basis. It won't really affect your gas mileage too much. It won't really affect your overall comfort in this vehicle. So me personally, I would keep it in sport all the time. It's starting to rain, so we're not gonna be able to really carve these corners, especially with all these people in front of us. But I really hope you guys got a good sense. This is a really good handling SUV. It has very good response in this 3.5 liter V6. That was a great job of providing power to this 2-wheel drive system. I haven't really experienced any wheel spin yet. Really impressive so far. I'm gonna try to find a nice little straight road so we can try an off-the-line acceleration and see how these 255 tires work with this two-wheel drive system and this 3.5 liter V6. See if there's any wheel spin. But as far as just cornering, I don't feel any understeer. The steering feels fantastic. I have a really great response to my hands from the wheel. Really, really impressive. And since we're in sport, you barely tapping the gas. The downshifts are pretty apparent. It's almost like a tune for this vehicle. But all right, we got a nice little turn right here. Whew, a little bit of body roll actually, so that was a little bit too much for this SUV, but everything's fine. But just accelerating right here, it gets the speed with basically zero effort. We were barely on the gas right here. Yes, we were in sport, so it's gonna be a little bit more sensitive. We'll throw it back into normal mode right here. And let's take a step out here. This will be a good opportunity to check out this vehicle's acceleration. This guy's making a right turn. We'll take a step right here and boom, on the gas. Woo, pretty strong. No wheel spin either. We got a police officer right here, so it wouldn't be smart for us to continue that acceleration run, but hope you guys get the point. Very, very peppy, very solid acceleration. And just cruising on the highway right now, we're going about 50 miles per hour. There's basically zero wind noise, basically zero road noise, extremely quiet cabin. I'm beyond comfortable with these seats. These cooled seats are, they work so well that I'm about to turn them off because I'm getting legitimately cold with the freezing cold air just blowing into my back. Like really, really impressive. This might be the best cooled seat system that I personally ever used. And for being in Lakeland, Florida right now, where it is currently 96 degrees, they're definitely nice to have. Everything about this car in terms of luxury is just truly fantastic. The materials up here, some of the softest leather that I've honestly personally ever felt. I'm keeping my elbow on here right now because it's just as soft as an armrest. I might as well keep your elbow here than the armrest, because if it's a more comfortable location, if you're like a taller dude, you don't like to have your arm low, you'd rather have your arm raised. If you like to drive with your elbow on this door panel, I know a lot of people like to drive like this with their finger right here and their elbow on the door panel. This is a very, very comfortable position because the leather here, it's basically like a pillow. So huge thumbs up to Nissan. This is a fantastic luxury SUV. I think this might be the best luxury SUV under 50,000 bucks. And we're pretty decently under 50,000 bucks. This car's about 48.5 as it is equipped after destination. So really, really good value SUV. I would definitely recommend it to anybody looking to buy a family SUV with 3 rows that can fit 7 or 8 people. Really, really impressive. So thank you so much to Jenkins Nissan for making this review possible. A really kind group of guys, huge dealership. They got a ton of cars right now. You can check out their lot. They have over 200 vehicles on the lot. Great group of guys. If you're in the Florida area looking for a new car, I would definitely check these guys out. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. Really impressive SUV. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, join the W.T.F family. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. I have endless gratitude for all you guys. You know, the channel is just not possible without the subscribers. So I truly do have a ton of appreciation for each and every one of you. Also leave a like too. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how the videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment too. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. But other than that, also leave a comment. Let me know what kind of cars you'd like to see reviewed in this channel. And I'll try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, guys, again, I had a great time making this video, and I hope all of you have a great day.